Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to my channel, Roseology. This is the February energetic forecast for your sign Pisces, and that applies to your sun, moon, and rising sign, or maybe you're just cross-watching for someone else that you know, but either way, welcome to my channel. Happy birthday to all of my Aquariuses as well out there. Now you can scroll down to the comments in the description for the timestamps to the meditation and to the reading if you are just ready to get straight to it, because I do have a couple of things to explain before getting to this reading. The first being that I have a lot of cards that I've pulled for each sign in February because intuitively I feel like we all needed a really in-depth reading on what to expect energetically this month and how to navigate that energy. And after reading for all of the signs, because I'm filming this intro video last, I'm hoping to have these videos uploaded on the 3rd of February. It is currently the 30th of January. So fingers crossed that I can get these up in that time frame. But after filming for all the signs, I can honestly say I believe that February, this Aquarius season, is one of the most tumultuous months of 2020. And not necessarily in a bad way, but it's definitely challenging us by shaking things up, by shaking up our core, shaking up our system, shaking up our day-to-day. And this is because of Saturn and Uranus, which are the two planets that rule Aquarius. So this is nothing to fear, but definitely something to be aware of and prepared for. And each sign's reading definitely delivered and gave an answer on how we can work with February's energy and use it to our benefit. A few dates to note, or a couple dates to note, is Mercury retrograde will be occurring this February 16th to March 9th, but we will be entering into Mercury retrograde shadow zone from February 1st to March 29th. So that is something to definitely take note of. I will also be doing a pick a card reading for how to work with this upcoming Mercury retrograde as well, so you can be on the lookout for that on my channel. And lastly, I wanted to let you guys know that I'm not doing any personal readings right now. I didn't take any readings in January either because I wanted to get back to making sure that I was uploading enough content, free content, up here on my YouTube channel, since I sort of slacked off in December, with December being the holidays and doing a whole bunch of personal readings. I really slacked off on this YouTube content here, but you guys will definitely be the first to know when I am back to accepting personal readings again. But thank you guys for being patient with me. I truly do appreciate you. And if you do just want to reach out to me, you can always email me. My email address is linked in the description down below. So now let's get to this meditation. Let me just start off by saying, like I always do, that this is a collective reading for your sign. So in order for this reading to resonate with you, you need to be synced into the energy of this reading. To help you do that, I'll be offering a 30-second meditation. And if you are ready to begin that meditation, get into a nice relaxed position. Become aware of your entire body, starting with your feet and working that awareness up in sections from the feet to the head. Then take a deep breath in through your nose for around 5 seconds. Hold that breath for 3 seconds. Then exhale out of your mouth for 6 to 7 seconds. Then focus on asking yourself or your higher self or your guides what guidance it is that you need to hear for the month of February 2020 and how you can best navigate this energy. Once you do that, we'll begin that meditation right now. All right, now that you're intuitively synced into the energy of this reading, let me take the time to thank your guides, my guides, our higher self, and amazing spirit itself for these messages today. Now let's check out what February has in store for you and your sign. All right, and Pisces, welcome to your reading. So we're going to be starting off with your tarot cards before getting to this stack of oracle cards here. So I'm not going to be reading the cards in any particular order, just from left to right, and I'm just going to be divining a message from them. So this is just let's just get started with your tarot cards and see what we get here. The very first card that we have is Death in reverse, the Two of Cups, and the Five of Swords. So first of all, what I'm seeing here, just starting off, is I'm seeing there's like some sort of stress trying to keep a relationship alive by any means necessary, even if it means that you lose out on something. This is almost desperation to keep things the same, or to keep the relationship, partnership, commitment from ending, basically, is what I'm seeing with just these 3 cards here at first. So this already looks like something that's sort of, it already looks like a February or a month that's focused on your relationship, a partnership, a commitment, something like that. This could even be a contract, because the Two of Swords, or the Two of Cups, to me, it always looks like some sort of a contractual agreement between two people, whether that's marriage, business, whatever the case. It always looks like some sort of a agreement to me, in my opinion. So this doesn't just have to be relationships, but this is some sort of agreement or partnership or something that you've entered into with another person. Your emotions are involved in it. Your emotions are tied up in it, whether that is romantic, or maybe like you can be emotionally tied into your work, tied into your business, your career, like that's your livelihood. It could be something that is your passion. So this is, your emotions are tied up into something that you are sharing with another person, is what I'm seeing here. And you're really, really, really trying to keep things afloat. And for whatever reason, it seems like there's something here where it's just like the relationship or this commitment or this partnership just wants to end, and it's like you're the only person fighting for this. The next card that we have here is the Four of Cups in reverse, the Devil in reverse, and the Emperor, who is also in reverse. All right, so what I'm seeing with this Four of Cups, Devil, and Emperor all in reverse is there's a lack of awareness here in terms of how much you are doing for this thing to last. You don't see how this has sabotaged certain areas of your life. It's like all you can see is this person, this partnership, relationship, job, habit, lifestyle, and you're doing whatever you can to keep it up. And then there's another side of you where it's like another side of you just desperately does want to be relieved of this situation, because it is draining you so much. It is taking so much out of you. It is taking so much effort and energy and time and focus and attention from you to keep this thing going. And it shouldn't, a partnership or a relationship should never have to be fought for this hard. If you have to fight this hard, then something may be up here, right? And that's what I'm seeing, is like there's a part of you that almost wants to be done with this. There's a part of you that almost wants this to end, or almost wants this to be over, but it's like you can't, but it's like there's another part of you that won't give into it. There's another part of you that won't let it go. That's the interesting thing here. So I do see you wanting to break free of this in February. This has been a recurring theme in most of the zodiac signs February readings, which is really, really interesting here. But it's been mostly about breaking away or breaking out of a very toxic pattern, relationship, or situation. I don't see that your relationship is necessarily toxic or not, but what I can see is everything that you have sacrificed in order to keep this other thing afloat. You've sacrificed a lot. You've sort of like, so like, for instance, like, for example, like maybe you sacrifice like your friend relationships, or like other friendships, or other relationships, or other engagements, something like that, just in order to keep this thing alive. And so it's really difficult probably for you to let that go, because it's like, well then, damn, I did all this, I did all these other things in vain. All these other sacrifices were literally for no reason, and that might be what's sort of playing on you mentally and emotionally here, but definitely don't be worried about that. The next card that we have is the Fool. Exactly. Don't be worried about that. Do not be worried. Then we have Strength. Yep, exactly. And then the Seven of Pentacles. So it's really interesting how it's like these last three cards, they got so much lighter, so much like airier, is that a word? I don't even know. But it's like things got way lighter. There's like a up current. It's like things take a drastic turn up, which is a really good thing, because these cards, they look really chaotic right here. These ones do. Even this Two of Cups, for some reason, I don't know if it's because it's surrounded by all these other cards here, but it's like there is just a lot of chaotic energy here. There's like just, I don't know. It's like just something struggling to stay afloat. When something's trying to stay afloat, it'll grab on anything. And that's just like what I'm sort of seeing here. It's so strange. But yeah, so with this Fool, the Strength card, and the Seven of Pentacles. So this is a new venture or phase. This is like a next step, this new life that you're going to have to stay strong in, or stay very committed to. It's time for you to tear away from whatever this is. Tear away from this. It looks like a partnership or a relationship commitment for very many of you with this Two of Cups here. But you may be thinking about all the But you may be thinking about all of the energy or the slow process that it takes with the Seven of Pentacles here, that it takes getting to know someone else, learning about them. Like, for instance, let's just say that this is talking about a relationship that's ending for you, a relationship that's sort of going downwards and you're really trying to keep it afloat in the month of February. The thing that I'm seeing with the Seven of Pentacles is like, something here is urging you to start over, to either get out of this relationship and start over with someone else or something like that. Something is really urging you to start over. And the thing that I'm seeing with the Seven of Pentacles is like, you may be thinking about like, man, it's such a slow process. It's such a slow, tedious, irritating process getting to know someone, learning about them, discovering their flaws and their triggers, their history and their hangups, getting to know their family, their friends, what's your favorite color, like what do you like to do on the weekends. Like, it's like you're going through the motions of having to start over again, and it's really sort of a turn off for you. Like the Seven of Pentacles is like the card of like, I'm just turned off. Like, I've been doing all this work. I'm not really seeing anything growing or sprouting. Like, I don't really feel like being here. I feel like going back to the city and going partying, or I don't know, whatever he feels like doing. It's definitely not this, it's like he's so bored of it, basically. So that's what I'm saying. That was just an example. But it's like, that's what I'm saying. It's like you're going through the motions of, oh my gosh, I have to do this all over again and that all over again. So you may be anticipating or dreading having to go through this process with some sort of process all over again, of starting over again. But if you are feeling suffocated or like you don't belong to yourself or depleted, then the cards here are saying, find the strength to leave this situation alone. Okay, let's go ahead and check out you guys' oracle cards here, see what other messages we have for the month of February. The very first sign or card that we have here is North Node, life's purpose. Yeah, so you may be being led towards your North Node, which is sort of tearing you away from this old way of life, this old way of doing things, these old patterns and cycles. Anytime we go towards our North Node, we are breaking away from patterns, cycles, codependency, things that we are just predisposed to, things that we are used to, basically, because this has been this sort of lifestyle, or this sort of whatever you're tearing away from has been sort of building up over the course of your life, or maybe even lifetimes, depending on how deep this runs. So anytime we go towards our North Node, that means we're tearing away from our South Node, and it's a really intense, very dramatic process. It's a big deal. Okay, and the next card that we have, look at this. Moon, soul, like what I was just talking about. There's no telling how long you have actually been involved in this sort of situation. This may be like a past life sort of issue where you've been dealing with this for very many lives, very many incarnations now. And then we have the Moon, soul card here. And plus we're having for this moon card to come up, we are having the full moon in the sign of Leo, February 9th here. Soul is telling me that your soul, your higher self, is the one that's trying to pull away. This is your higher self. This is the doing of this is the work of spirit and the universe trying to pull you out of this cycle or this pattern of toxicity, basically. So listen to your soul, listen to your subconscious, listen to your instinctual self that's like, I'm feeling suffocated or depleted, or I feel like I'm sabotaging other areas of my life. Listen to that tiny voice that wants you to break away and to find and to go on this new journey, because there's something here where it's like you need to leave all this alone. And it's like such a flip all of a sudden. That's what I'm seeing. I feel like in February for my Pisces, it's going to be like this like overnight, like split second sort of decision or split second sort of thing where you just go from being in this chaotic situation to just like smooth sailing. It's almost like turbulence, like when your like plane is in turbulence and then all of a sudden it's like a peaceful flight the rest of the way. That's what it seems like to me that I'm seeing here. The next card that we have is Taurus, I have. So the thing that I'm seeing with Taurus, I have, is you get to have what you want. You get to truly have what you want, but this time the deal isn't going to be as bad as the one that you may have signed up for. This is going to be a different deal. Like the two people here in the Devil card, they took a really shitty bad deal. They just didn't know it. They had no sort of awareness that this was such a bad agreement, or this was a really bad deal for them to get in. Like they really did think that like they may have just gotten tempted into it, like, oh, this seems fun, or this seems different, this seems interesting, and then it ended up taking on a life of its own. So I see this as like you breaking away and getting to, and when you do break away, it's not that you're completely walking away from whatever this is. You're going to get to have the same sort of scenario. It's just not going to be with the same prerequisites or requirements. It's not going to charge you the same price. Like I said, you're really sacrificing a lot. You won't have to sacrifice as much with this new venture, with this new beginning. You won't have to give so much away. Instead, you're going to be receiving instead of giving away. That's what I'm seeing with the Taurus I have card there. And then the next card that we have is Mercury Mind, and we are having Mercury retrograde this February 16th until March 9th. Nothing to worry about. Mercury retrograde is actually very amazing. I've never once had a bad Mercury retrograde experience, especially ever since going on my own spiritual journey. Mercury retrograde is actually something that I look forward to now, because I usually end up discovering something that I would have missed before. And it's usually some sort of treasure or some sort of like gem that I am always walking past. And then all of a sudden, every time Mercury retrograde season comes up, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that I never would have noticed that. So I'm kind of seeing that happen here, where it's like, you know what, that might be what I'm seeing. That might actually be what I'm seeing here with like, it's how it's like everything's going in this very sort of chaotic direction, and then all of a sudden it's just smooth sailing. So that could be the influence of Mercury, with Mercury going retrograde. Actually, Mercury going retrograde for my Pisces seems like a really good thing. That seems like where all this clarity is going to come in at for you guys. So somewhere around the middle of the month, February 16th, February 17th, is when it seems like things are going to start to pan out a little bit, sort of clear up for this Mercury card to be here, as well as watch your mind. Watch the way that you talk to yourself. For some reason, I'm getting watch the way that you talk to yourself in the month of February. Make sure that you aren't attacking yourself. Make sure you aren't blaming yourself either for the situation. This is just sort of coming through. Make sure that you are not blaming yourself for the situation. And do some of you have Mercury in Taurus? Some of you may have Mercury in Taurus. Like myself, I have Mercury in Taurus. But interesting. Okay, the next card that we have here is Fourth House Roots. Okay. Yeah. So this is like getting to the guts of a situation. This is getting to the guts of the issue and finally dealing with it. That's what's going on here for February for my Pisces, is you guys are going to be getting to the gut of the situation. And that's why things are just going to take like a drastic turn to like from like a little bit chaotic to just very smooth, because you guys are getting to the source, the issue, the very root of whatever the issue is in this situation or this partnership or this commitment or this relationship, whatever the case. You guys are going to get to the actual root of the problem and actually solve it, actually find it, actually figure it out. That the way you can start over. So you may actually be starting over in the relationship that you're in right now, or in the commitment, or in the partnership. It might not mean that relationship or that partnership or that commitment ends. It might just mean that you guys are like, you know what, we need better communication, or we need to finally fix this issue, or we need to finally have this conversation. We need to finally deal with this or deal with that. That the way you guys can start over again within this relationship or this partnership, because for some reason, and I noticed that like I wasn't really necessarily feeling like you guys are getting out of something and then starting something new with someone else. It doesn't really feel like that to me. It just sort of feels like really chaotic, and then all of a sudden everything's really good. So I think for many of you, you guys are going to be finding the solution to some of the issues and problems in some of your relationships or your romantic relationships, things like that. Maybe your marriage. This could also represent marriage as well, okay? And then we have here, yeah, exactly, Shagai, fragmented. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but yeah, fragmented. So this is like so this is saying there's some cracks and there's some issues, there's some things going on in this commitment, in this partnership. There's some fragmented pieces. There's some cracks, there's some holes, there's some things that need to be repaired and some things that need to be worked on. That the way you guys can start over new, start over fresh, and get back to a place where the both of you are sort of, you guys have the same goals, you guys have the same target, you guys have the same purpose, basically. So this is really going to help sort of bring together all those fractured pieces in you guys' marriage or relationship or commitment, partnership, whatever. And then we have here Aura observation. This card has been coming up for a few of the signs. And aura observation, what I'm seeing with this is like you guys are going to figure out what the root of the issue is. You guys are finally going to figure it out. Observation sounds like to me a detached perspective, third person point of view. We are in the sign, or we are in the season of Aquarius. I talked very extensively about Aquarius energy and what exactly this means for the collective, for the whole, as the sun is moving through the sign of Aquarius. And the sun will be in the sign of Aquarius. We will be in Aquarius season until around like the last week or so of February. You guys can check that video out if you want to find out a little bit more about this Aquarian energy and how to work with it and why it is amazing for fixing this sort of issue right here that I'm picking up on, or that the cards are picking up on. So yeah, I'll link that down below if you guys are interested in checking that out. So yeah, this is like observing things from a detached third person point of view, thanks to that Aquarius energy. And then we have here, look at that, runes perception. Yes. Aquarius rules perception, how we see things, how we view things, how we look at things, because Aquarius is also ruled by Uranus and Saturn. So this is all about how we perceive things to be, what they look like to us, basically. So like I was saying, you're going to detach and have that third person point of view, that third person perspective to be able to see, oh, this is the issue, because there's going to be a bit of detachment that happens here. And I believe that that's why things are going to go from hectic and a little crazy to just smooth and easy and effortless, basically. And then we have here psychometry, sensitivity. Okay, so you guys may be dealing with a situation that is a bit sensitive, or that is a little fragile, because like I said, or like the cards said, this situation is fragmented. And then it's interesting too, because this person is holding a ring. That's very interesting. And then we have the Two of Cups here. So for some of you, this is your marriage, or this is your relationship. This is your partnership. This is a very, very, very important partnership or relationship to many of you guys here for the month of February. And that's where a lot of your focus is going to be for the month of February, is on this particular relationship or partnership. And then we have ornithomancy. Don't know if I'm saying that right. Omen. Again, you guys already know. You guys already sort of maybe even have felt the relationship going in a certain way. That may also be what the sensitivity card is talking about here, that your intuition already sort of let you know, like, yeah, something's happening or something is going on. We're like having a rough time, or having a bit of a difficult time. We've been arguing a lot lately, or, you know, the relationship just feels weird. Something feels off. This partnership feels weird or off. We're not communicating like normal. Our communication, every time we try to talk about things or find a common ground, we just end up arguing. It could be something as simple as that. So yeah, Omen is saying, like, for me, Omen is saying, like, you already sort of saw this coming on the horizon. You've already been sort of picking up on this, but a solution is coming. So don't give up on the situation. A solution is coming, okay? And then we have here, look at that. Love, I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. Beautiful. So yeah, love can also be talking about like this Two of Cups, or as well as, like I was saying, it doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic situation, because we can also be emotionally involved in our businesses, in our career, in our passions. You know what I mean? So it doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic relationship, but it does look like there is some sort of emotional aspect involved here. And then we have, oh yeah, service. Okay. So for some of you, this is a partnership, like a business. Some of you may be in business with your spouse. Some of you may be in business with somebody that you're dating, or with someone that you are romantically, intimately involved with. And it says, I feel good when I can help others. So yeah, for some of you, and plus Pisces, you guys are a sign and energy that is very dedicated to others in service and in love and in healing. So yeah, that might be another reason why you find it very difficult to sort of step away or detach from the situation, because you are so heavily involved in trying to heal or fix the situation. And that's why I was saying that this Aquarian energy is really going to help you to see the things that you need to see, that by detaching, basically. And then we have here change. Exactly. I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without moving. Like I said, whenever you guys, I'm thinking around the middle of the month, right around the time when Mercury does go retrograde, is when I'm feeling like things are going to go from a little rocky to smooth for you guys. But there's definitely going to be an instant change in this situation. And then we have here perseverance. yeah, like I was saying, perseverance. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. Like I was saying, don't give up on this situation. Don't give up on it just yet, because there is something here. You know, there is something here, you guys, where it's like you can fix this situation. You just need to be able to remove yourself, to detach yourself from the situation in order to actually find and see the solution. The next couple cards that we have here is the moon. Again, we have another moon card, and it says you will be guided through darkness. What was I just saying? What was I just saying, you guys? Don't give up on this. Whatever it is, don't give up on it. You're going to be guided. And then we have the stars. A long journey brings rewards. Exactly. And that sounds a lot like the Fool card down here. So we have the moon card and the star card. So yeah, this is something that is being led by your guides, being led by the universe, being led by spirit. And I pulled some romance cards here. So the next 3 cards that we have are the romance cards. And the very first one says, very soon, clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. So some of you may be going back and forth about a relationship. So, you know, really come to deciding if you want to stick with it or not. You know, like I was saying, if you're feeling suffocated or depleted, then that's definitely a conversation that you want to have with this partner, this person, whoever it may be, or the situation. You know, that's definitely something that you want to bring up, because you don't deserve to be drained either. So, you know, if you have this conversation and you guys decide, okay, let's work on this, that the way we both can get something out of this, instead of, you know, just you giving and me taking, or, you know, vice versa, whatever the case, that the way there can be a nice equal sort of exchange between you and this other party. And then the next card that we have is passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. Okay, so passion could be coming back into your relationship, or you could be meeting somebody that you are very passionately involved with, something like that. And then we have here trust. The situation is calling for you to have faith. Yeah, like I was saying, you definitely, if you do decide, like, okay, let's work on this, have faith in the fact that both of you are starting over. The both of you are starting over. You really need to have faith. Okay, yeah, Pisces, you really need to have faith. If you do decide to try again or to start over with someone in your life, have faith that things are changing. Don't go into this new start, this new beginning, thinking like they're not really different, they're not really changed. Because if you're thinking that, then that is more than likely what is going to end up happening. Okay, so try to go into this like with some faith, with thinking like, you know what, we talked about it, I said what I needed to say, and hopefully they got the memo. And if they didn't, then they didn't, and you know what, I'll take care of it from there. But, you know, go into this understanding and knowing that you also need to be a key player in this, and believe in the fact that this person does want to change and to make things better, that the way you guys can have a cohesive, harmonious relationship. Okay, and the next 3 cards are the health cards, and the very first one that we have is do more research. And it says, dear God and Archangel Raphael, thank you for clearly and gently leading me to the information that I need to know for my well-being. Please give me the courage to be assertive as I take charge of my health care needs. So maybe you're trying a different diet, something like that, but make sure you do enough research on it and enough research on your body, things like that, to see how it'll go with you. The next card that we have here is yes, dear Archangel Raphael, please help me trust my feelings as the accurate barometer of truth. Yes, trust yourself. And then we have another card here that says trust. Yeah, so trust yourself, trust in the situation. And then we have good night's sleep. So this looks to me, dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for helping me relax and sleep deeply, for I know that you are guiding, healing, and protecting me while I rest. Make sure you're getting your rest, Pisces. Okay, and then the last 3 cards that we have here is the Mask, the Ring. This Ring card has been popping up for a few of the signs as well, and the Warrior. All right, Pisces, so you are a warrior. You're a warrior, okay? But there is some sort of something going on, a mask that needs to be unveiled. It needs to be removed in order for the ring to come in, for you to have this deeper level of commitment. But you're really going to have to fight for this, okay? And that's what I was saying. You're going to have to fight for this, so don't give up on it. If you really do want it, just realize that you have to fight for this, okay? So this is all that I'm seeing for my Pisces. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in. I pray this reading brought you guys some love, support, clarity, and strength. I want to take this time to thank your beautiful guides, my beautiful guides, our higher self, and amazing spirit itself, for these messages today. Hopefully you all come back to visit me sometime soon, but until next time, you guys stay safe, stay blessed. Please keep conquering the world, and I'll be back next time, all right? Bye, guys.